seek a professional advisor before determining whether trading is right for you. So this is the first step in analyzing your trade book and determining whether it provides you an edge. And the first thing you want to do when you are starting out and trying to figure out, is this a strategy that works for me, and can I employ it to make a positive sloping equity curve? And you start out by probably reading books by successful traders. That's probably what brought you around, right? You got Andrew's book on how to day trade for a living, talks a lot about momentum trading in there. You got opening range breakouts, you got ABCD patterns, you got VWAP trading strategies, you got fallen angels, rising devil, all kinds of different types of strategies in there. And that might have brought you, or it could have been, maybe you want to trade something that's more along Ain Cooling's line, where it's about volume price analysis, or even swing trading. Maybe you don't want to be a day trader. You would rather trade, get into a trade, hold it for a couple days, and then exit out of the position. Or maybe you ran across some of the trading psychology books that are out there as you were going, and you're like, hey, I really need to find a type of strategy to go. But this is typically where traders will start out. You can pick a strategy out of there, identify what you believe you'll be good at, and you move from there. Or you can use other traders' type of strategies as well, right? Here's the members of the Bearable, or moderators of Bearable Traders. Each of us trade a little bit differently from one another. Nobody trades exactly the same here. You might find that you enjoy how Carlos trades the 5-minute opening range breakouts, or Peter's afternoon strategies, or mountain pass strategies, Andrew's 1-minute opening range breakouts, or John's break of high of day type strategies, or Eamon's ABCD strategies. These are all different types, but it's the starting point, and that's what I really want you to understand. You need a starting point, and typically that starting point is with somebody else's idea or strategy that works. You can also pull up our Bearable Traders trade books, where we give you a one-page summary of kind of a typical strategy that we go with, right? So here you got an extreme reversal that Eamon trades. Peter's starting to take a little bit of these. Jared also is trading extreme reversals. He calls it the Pearson fail. So there's different ones there. You got the ABCD patterns or mountain pass. So there's different things, but this gives you that starting point. And what you want to do is you just want to grab somebody else's strategy or a trade book like this and go through it and be like, this is what I'm looking for. So if we pick this ABCD pattern, you're basically going to say to yourself, hey, I'm going to look for trending stocks, a pullback that's about 40 to 70% that's near a new high on the daily chart. And you're going to look at it, and when you see that, you're going to pull it up on your chart and you're going to trade it. You're going to look for some of the confirmations, and you're using the signals of somebody else. But that's how you get started out. And it's perfectly acceptable, and that's what I encourage you to do, as you'll see as we progress through this. You then go into that hard and difficult time of screen watching and watching charts over and over and over again. Although you may not think it, when you are sitting there watching charts as the price action is moving up and moving down, the level 2 cycling through, your brain is processing that information and it is recording it. And the more you do it, the more information you're getting. The longer you do it, the more information that's just getting built up inside that your mind is seeing. And it's going to start to recognize patterns. Our mind is built for that. It's going to recognize those type of patterns. And a eventually your mind is going to start to zero in on specific strategies that you see very well. And I bring your attention to these two charts. And what I want you to do is, first, I want you to notice how your trading platform can manipulate the images that are projected to you. So this is DAX Trader Pro, and I don't use manipulated as something bad. It's just to put in perspective for you. So this is DAX Trader Pro. If you notice, FSLY and QCOM, both of them are relatively priced around the same price here. But if you look at FSLY, you notice that the price goes from 117 all the way to 125, where QCOM goes from 122 to 124. Notice how the candles look the same, but if you look at the dollar value of those candles, they are very different. And this is important to understand, that your trading platform may do this. It's doing it so it's easier for you to read, because if it had a set standard, there'd be super small candles on QCOM and decent sized candles on FSLY. But your mind can process this information relatively the same when the chart will display similar patterns over time. But what I want you to ask yourself right now is, when you look at these two charts, what strategies do you see that pop out? Right away, I can see a high of day break after a pullback. I can see an ABCD pattern on FSLY, right? So right here, we got the high of day break occurring after a pullback. We also have an A. You gotta excuse my writing here. I'm not very good with the mouse. A, B, C, right? Support right there with a D going on here. So there's the ABCD. Over here on QCOM, we got the VWAP reversal that you got going on. Or a V reversal, not VWAP, sorry about that. V reversal. And then you also possibly have a lightning bolt. I'm not the best in lightning bolt, but you got up, you got down, and then you got to move back up. So you got 4 different strategies. What here is the question: do you see the best? That's what's important out of this aspect, right? You want to be able to identify it. And what will happen over time as you're spending more and more time watching screens, more and more time taking trades, you're going to find out what you see very well. And I encourage you, if you're just starting out in sim, if you're just becoming a new trader, or if you've been trading for a while but are not having the success you want, I challenge you to just look at charts for 2 weeks and trade every single thing you think you see in a simulator account. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, take all that data and run it through this process of analyzing it and testing it and seeing if that doesn't help your trading a little bit. So to end this portion of observing chart patterns, I want to talk about what the objective is, right? And the objective is to identify what you think you see well. Because you may have come into this notion saying, hey, I want to trade ABCD patterns, but you don't see ABCD patterns very well. I personally will be the first to tell you that I do not see ABCD patterns well at all. I don't know what it is. It's a part of my mind, but I don't see them well. But what I do see well is I do see pullbacks from the high of day well. So I got a high of day that's there, and I got a pullback or a reversal off of it, and then a move back up to that high of day. I see that well. So you want to be able to identify what you see well so that you can begin to have the confidence in the trade setup that you're going to be trading. And once you identify what you see well, you can then start it creating a hypothesis about how you're going to utilize what you see well to make you money. So with that, that concludes this portion of observing charts. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at mike@bareboldtraders.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.